Okay, so we're here with another MMA Cork fighter. They seem to be fighting all the time. He's been fighting a lot since he made his debut this year as well, Mr. Evan Horgan. Someone asked me about him and told me about him. I think it was Virtus. I watched it. You were very
Yeah.
good in that performance. Johnny Duggan, I believe, told me, and I think someone you were going to be fighting at amateur. I think your first amateur opponent. One of their guys texted me to say to find out how you looked as well. I heard a lot about you that night. Thank you so much for joining me, especially so close to the fight. How are you feeling? How's things?
Oh, great. Can't wait to get in there. Just excited. Thanks for having me on as well. So,
No, I really, really appreciate it. Like I said, coming closer. So obviously, we're for context for people who may be watching this. This is actually Thursday. It's recorded. It'll probably be out on Friday. So you're kind of close to the fight. What's your weight cut like? Do you have much weight to cut? Do you cut much weight as an amateur, as you're only an early amateur, or what way does your weight cuts go?
usually I've been doing day of weigh-ins, so I haven't been cutting much at all, like, because you can't really cut much then because you'd be destroyed for the fight. But for this one, day before now, I'm working with Sean Fitzgerald. He works with a lot of lads in MMA Cork. So I'm cutting a fair amount, nothing serious, like nothing crazy, but hopefully now I'll be looking good in the cage, looking big.
Yeah, no, and that's because obviously it's the day of where you can't cut yourself because you deplete yourself. There's so
Yeah.
many potential risks, especially because the fluid around your brain is one of the last to come back, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's better, and I think amateur as well. I don't think you should be cutting a huge amount of weight at the start. Anyways, just kind of learn the skills. But we'll
Yeah.
get on to the fight that's coming up. You're going to be fighting Oisin Daly. These are two kind of up and coming talents. You both are just like you're 3-1, he's 3-0. Like all finishes, I believe, from both of his as well. Um,
Yeah, no, I don't have any finishes, no.
no, sorry,
No,
he's
that's
all
just
finishes.
yeah.
But you've got all wins. But they've been very impressive wins as well. You fought really good people. But to get to this stage, we have to go back to the very start when you started MMA. What led you to MMA and why? And why was MMA Cork your choice? Or was it MMA Cork you started with?
Yeah, I actually wanted to start with boxing. To be honest, I just wanted to do anything self-defense because I was really big into fitness from Ghana and all that stuff. So my dad then knew someone who trained in MMA Cork, and all he had to say was great things about the gym. Like, so just popped in one day to the gym. I was tipping away then for about a year, like going to MMA once or twice a week, just because I could say I was doing MMA then, like, and I just fell in love with it. Like, quit soccer, everything's just focusing on MMA now. So it's just random, really, but it's just taking over everything.
And that's good. And what was it? Because obviously, GA and soccer are massive in this country, especially GA. Soccer is quite big as well. But like, what was it that actually that led? I know you're saying you loved it, but was it the physical aspect? Was it because I know with team sports as well, you have to rely on other people. Obviously, you have other people with you in MMA, your coaches, teammates, etc. But when you go into the cage, if you don't perform, it's on you. If you're not, there's no
Yeah,
one else there really. If a team doesn't perform, what was it that led you to actually give it all up? And did you know you were going to compete from the moment you started?
to be honest, I had no idea I was going to compete. Like, I just liked it. It was probably more like testing myself and pushing myself. Like, I never been pushed that hard before. Discipline as well. Like, I was playing GAN soccer there, and I was eating like such bad foods, and I'd get away with it because the matches would only be on the weekend. But with MMA as well, you have to watch your weight, everything. You have to fuel your performance, everything. So probably like the discipline of everything is what really attracted me to it. And then yeah, the independence. Like when I go out to fight now, like it's just me. If I lose, I'm to blame. If I win, I'm to blame. Like 100% of whatever happens is on me. Like, so I kind of like that as well. But yeah, the discipline is really that. Just I just love it. I don't know.
And did you find that you maybe were, I don't want to say undisciplined before, but I know even like I'm in my mid 30s, mid to late 30s, and I'm still undisciplined in certain aspects of my life as well. Do you find that it was able to help you get disciplined in your personal life as well as your combat sports life? And do you think it helped facets of your personal life because of the humbleness, structures, being able to organize things better? Do you think that has bled over to benefit your personal life as well?
100%, yeah. Like I've actually, as cliche as it sounds now, I've actually learned so much from MMA that's just transferred over to everything. Like and even the humbleness, yeah, and the discipline. Like I'm not a crazy disciplined person now, but like I'm way more disciplined than when I was before. Like if I see a bit of chocolate, I'm not gonna get sick, like 'cause I'm that disciplined. But I'm a lot more disciplined than when I was, and I don't know. It's actually really hard to explain, but it just makes you better overall. Like just everything about it.
Yeah, no, and you can see that in a lot of people as well. They said they didn't know what discipline was until they started training
Yeah,
MMA, and like that, like you said with soccer, you might train what maybe 2 times during the week, maybe
yeah,
1 time during the week, a match
yeah.
on the weekend, and then you've got long extended breaks. Whereas do you find like MMA is a lifestyle? It's not just a sport because you can't take time. Like you have to train. I'm not saying you have to train every day, but you're training 4 to 5 times a week, I would presume.
Yeah.
Depending, obviously, you might have other obligations that you might not be able to do it sometimes, but and there's no time off. There's no like, it's not like
No.
pre-season, off-season. It's
Yeah.
all go. Is that what you like about it? That is consistent.
Yeah, definitely. Like with soccer and God, there was like you'd have like the summer break or whenever the break was, and there'd be like 2 or 3 months there where you've nothing on. Whereas now, like every day, twice a day, 7 days a week, like I've something to aim for and strive for, you know. So I'm constantly grafting. I just love to grind as well, like so. Just give me something to grind towards as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. So obviously, when you went in, you didn't realize you were going to compete. And then when did you decide you were going to compete and what kind of led to that decision?
It was probably when I started training, like picking up the training. You know, at the start it was just because like I'm doing MMA, like this is cool. And then I started like training 4, 5, 6 times a week, and I just wanted to compete. You know, like I nothing really drove me towards it or anything. It was probably just because I was spending so much time in the gym. I just wanted to see how I'd fare, like and see what I'd be like in the cage. But yeah, that's probably it. Just testing myself.
Just a natural progression. As you got better, you wanted to see how your skills would fare out in a fight. Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously, you had like that. I'd heard a little bit about you at novice as well. A lot of people tell me to look at you. So talk to me about the first time you actually, because obviously in training you're not going full pelt. I know there is different rule sets to novice and amateur, but you still is the intensity. Still two lads trying to beat each other. What was that experience like going in for the first time? And where was your first
Um,
fight actually?
my first novice was actually in Virtus
That
against
was
David Armstrong. Yeah, but yeah, he was a tough opponent, and he was a lot more experienced than me, so I was very nervous going in. But you know, for my first one, I'd say I was actually good enough. Like I was pretty confident. Didn't like I got jelly legs for a bit at the start, but you know, I was grand then after 10, 15 seconds. Like so, I'd say it actually went very well. Like
yeah, and that's good as well because obviously Virtus is um an event in itself. Usually when people fight novice at like the national MMA national leagues, stuff like that,
yeah,
where it's kind of there's not a huge amount of spectators, bar maybe your team that are with you. But the fact that
yeah.
Virtus was your one, you knew what to expect, and obviously when you made your amateur debut, you
Yeah,
you
I actually did a sorry no, I did a few MMA leagues as well before that, but
okay.
I couldn't remember that at all. But like my first novice fight with like full power, like no holding back to the headshots was that one in Virtus. But I did do a good few national MMA league ones as well.
Okay, and how did you find like well you obviously just said obviously the bit of jelly legs, but did you find that the crowd in the event made much of a difference, or did you just kind of zone out once you kind of got into fight mode?
Yeah, I actually whenever I get into the cage, I don't hear the crowd at all. I just hear my dad's voice because he shouts so loud, and I hear Aaron giving the instructions. They're the only things I hear. Like no matter how big the crowd is or anything, it's so weird, but can't complain with that.
No, you can't. And like that, you've had the 4 amateur fights. You fought really good lads as well. Like you can see, there's a crop of young people coming up as well. How have you found all the fights so far? Obviously, switching over from novice to amateur, the main difference has been obviously the round length, and then
Yeah,
obviously the ground and pound as well.
yeah.
How you felt? Obviously, you're 3-1, so you've a good record. You fought really good people as well. How are you finding it in the amateur scene at the minute, and what you make of the level in the amateur scene as we stand?
I was actually thinking today, like on the way home from work, like the amateur scene is actually unbelievable. Like I was thinking about the amount of good people my weight, like my age even, like who are coming up now, and they'd all be brilliant tests for me and for all the other lads. Like so, I'm actually very happy. Like the amateur scene is so in depth. Like there's so many different good people and different skill sets. So if I get as much experience with them as I can, like it'd be
Yeah.
class.
You do, and I was talking to Oisin the other day, and we were talking off camera, and that's what I said. Obviously, we're at this stage now with the division you're in. It's a lot of people have started to go pro or have gone pro in the past year, and you're kind of the new crop are coming through, and there's some really exciting fighters. Yourself, Oisin is one, Alex Kyo's another one. There is more I can't think off the top of my head. They're just three
Yeah,
that kind of stand out. But how do you feel with the amount of shows that we have as well? Like, and MMA Cork seems to be on every show.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, we sneak into everything in, like at least one person, but there's so many different shows, especially with Elite Fighting Championship now. There's one down in Cork. Pretty sure there's going to be like two or three per year at least, hopefully. But that's so handy for us, all the lads down in SPG Cork, MMA Cork, Samson, and all that. But even like the Prepper one in Kilkenny, there's so many different ones on. There's up to North, up in Dublin. Like there's so many different opportunities for everyone around Ireland, not just people up the north or in Dublin to get onto fights and get on shows and get experience. Like so, can't complain with the amount of shows in Ireland.
No, you can't. And see, like that, I think Cork probably have the longest journey to any event that they
Yeah,
go to because it is usually up north or the likes of Dublin. Because even Dublin to Belfast is only 2 hours, literally on the motorway.
yeah,
But it's probably a little bit longer from Cork to Dublin.
yeah,
I'm not sure. I say it's about 220, depending where you're coming from. But obviously, the
yeah.
show with Cork, um, I was at the very first one that went well. There was a couple like that. It would never didn't wasn't 100% smooth, and no show is, and especially after the first time. But I was very impressed with how it ran for the first time. How much would you like to fight on that September card?
Oh my God, I'd actually give anything to fight like in front of the home crowd, but I'll see. Like if I can get a match, I tried to get a match for the last one, but I couldn't. So if I can get a match, I get a match. I'll be happy out, but that would be a dream, all right? Yeah,
Yeah, we'll wait. And hopefully I think it's good. Obviously, Barry runs the show. Like you said, you got Premier that's in Kilkenny, you've got Cage Legacy that's in Dublin. I think with Premier and obviously ESC is going to be in Cork all the time. Premier have moved around a bit, like they've gone to Cork, Clonmel, Kilkenny, they're
yeah.
doing different places, which is really cool. I think they're essential to the likes of the southeast and the southwest because you have to travel a lot and it gives a huge it's a massive platform like that show in Premier. What do you make of that venue? Is that something that interesting?
Oh,
Have you
the
seen it? The
Coliseum.
outside, it's like real gladiator shit, isn't it? It's good.
Oh my God, it looks unbelievable. I can't wait to get on that now. But yeah, I'd say it'll be like one of a kind. Like it's actually going to be unreal. Like especially with the outdoor and hopefully now good weather. It's in Ireland, so we
It,
don't know. But if there is good weather, it will be unbelievable. 10 out of 10. Like
it would be, and like I don't know what it's like with you right now. With me, it's sunny. It's not overly warm, but this is the kind of weather you'd want for it. And knowing Ireland, when that rolls around, it's not going to be. And in Ireland,
yeah, no,
you can't book anything outside, even in the summer. But hopefully, it does go ahead. I think the show is going to be fantastic. Obviously,
yeah,
if it does rain, the fighters and everyone's going to be covered in the cage, but it's going to be the
yeah,
spectators that will
yeah,
unfortunately wet. So just bring your umbrellas. But that's looking a bit forward now because obviously you've got this fight this weekend. You said your way, you're coming in. You don't have that much to cut. You're fighting Oisin Daly as well. Someone I know quite well. Two rising young stars. What you make of that matchup? I think it's actually a very exciting matchup and a matchup that both you could learn a lot of because I think the two of you are going to be a tough fight for each other.
yeah, definitely. I like he's so good overall. So I'm confident in my ability everywhere as well, striking, grappling and stuff. But I know he's going to be a tough challenge, and no matter what happens, win, lose or draw, both of us are definitely going to improve from it. Like, and that's all you can ask for really is to be guaranteed an improvement from a fight. Like, so this experience now in the weekend is going to be invaluable. Can't wait to get in there and just enjoy myself.
I can't wait to see you fight in person again. It's a fantastic show. and it's a really good showing like that. You've got really good opponent, and like I said, I like that fight. Two young lads that are like that rising stars, just go in and fight each other because I believe you're of similar level. There's no point avoiding the fight. Don't sort of way.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, it happens. I don't know if you've experienced it yourself at amateur so far, but it does
yeah. I
happen.
don't think I have yet.
No, well, you might, because it usually happens at some stage. So, but you come from a gym that I really really like. How is it there at the minute? Obviously, Brian announced yesterday he's going to be going pro because he's just been unfortunate with the pullouts from fights, and even when he got injured, he went ahead and fought when I believe he shouldn't have, but he wouldn't
Yeah,
have got a fight otherwise because he has just been unfortunate. You've got Johnny who had a fantastic decision the other day. You've got Barry who's always around. You've got Louise, who I believe is probably going to be one of the next female stars. She was a
yeah,
youth champion and she looked great in her first two. So there's no shot. There's more Paul Buckley, obviously pro, Dan McCarthy, Paul Keller, who I love,
yeah.
45 years of age, is still absolutely kicking ass. What's
Absolute
it like
animal.
being?
Yeah,
Oh, he is. And you know what? He's the most soft-spoken, gentle person
yeah.
outside of the cage, and he's just.
Oh,
I love him.
it's ridiculous. Yeah, the contrast.
Yeah.
But yeah, the atmosphere in the gym now absolutely buzzing. Like we I don't know how many shows we got on so far this year, but getting on almost everyone. And we just moved to a new gym now, so bigger gym, better gym. Everybody's like everybody can't wait to fight now and just go out and show the level that we're at in MMA Cork. But Jesus, yeah, the atmosphere is electric in there.
I can imagine it is. And obviously, why was the move for the gym, I would presume, is because the numbers were getting bigger and bigger, was it? Because, like that, every time I look at a show, like I said, there's MMA Cork and there's always like a debut or someone who used to fight and have come back. Is it just the numbers started going up?
Yeah, yeah. Like to be fair, like even the intermediate and beginners classes now are all packed. Like everything is full to the brim. Even the new bigger gym, the whole mats are full the whole time. So can't complain with that. Like more people coming in, more sparring partners and all that stuff. And Aaron's doing a great job, like promoting and advertising the club and getting new people to come in and just try it out. Like so, yeah,
Yeah, no, it is very good. And that's what, like, obviously, they were on Cage Conflict last week, and it's always good to see Aaron. And the club went 4-0 on the night, which was unbelievable.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
with Cage Conflict. And it seems to be like that all night. Like, sometimes I've seen them and they've gone 2-2, and it's a bet. They're like, a mixed night because like that must be a strange feeling actually. You're traveling back and you're after winning, and then someone's after losing, and then it's like
yeah,
obviously the coach has to celebrate your win with you, but has to commiserate the loss.
yeah.
I'd say that's probably a tough thing to deal with. Bob's he's probably done as separate stages, not when you're in the car on the way home.
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah,
But
yeah,
it's a good gym, and I think not that it's underrated. I just think it's really right now. It's really bubbling. Like you said, it's getting bigger and bigger. That's down to the talent people are seeing, and they want to join it as well. But look, I gotta let
yeah.
you go. I want to thank you so much for your time. Oh no, one
Thanks
more
so much for
question.
having me.
No, sorry, one more question actually. How active do you plan on staying this year? Obviously, you're not looking past your scene, but are you looking to
Yeah.
fight as much as you can, or are you going to take time between fights? Sorry.
Definitely. You know, if I'm healthy, injury free, I don't see why not get as much experience as I can in amateur. You know, like set me up eventually down the line for a good pro career, but just get as much experience as I can. Like that's all I'm seeing this as is trying to win. Obviously, that's the main goal. But at the end of the day, like get experience, get minutes in the cage, get used to everything, get comfortable, prove my skill set. So just trying to stay as active as I can. Really, yeah.
Yeah, no, and I like that as well. Just try and stay active as you can and just learn and grow from it because I know obviously
Yeah,
it's not nice to lose, but when you lose, usually you learn your biggest lessons as well, where the holes in your game
exactly.
and that's all part and parcel of the game. But um, I am going to let you go this time because that was a question I thought of earlier and I forgot it, and then it just popped in as I was saying it. So, is there anything you want to say before you go to anyone you want to shout out? And I want to thank you so much for your time. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk to you, and I can't wait to see you this weekend.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much for having me. Just shout out to all my teammates, Aaron, Aim Scully, Sean Fitz, everyone helping me. Can't wait to put on a show now and show what MMA Cork is.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much, and I will see you the weekend.
Thank you very much.